After we made the halo braid video, I had some people asking some questions about how to do the parts for the halo braid. This video, we're not making the halo braids, but there is a similar part involved, so I thought I'd explain it a little bit. With the halo braid, I was making a circle around the head similar to this, except for that because I was making two cornrows in the front, the circle was a little closer to her hairline than it is in this hairstyle. But what I want to explain for anybody who's tried to make that part and had trouble with it is that when you're trying to make a circle, you can see here that this is, I mean, obviously it's not a perfect circle, but it's pretty good round circle. Well, when I made this part, I was focusing on making a round circle in the middle of her head. I wasn't so focused on making a circle around the hairline. And what I mean by that is that, can you tilt your head back? That when I went to make the part for the cornrow that was going to go in the front of that hairstyle around the outside, I decided by the front how wide I wanted that cornrow to be. So if I decided I wanted to be about this wide, I started my part and I started working my way around her head. And when I got by certain areas, it was going to change thickness. If you are concerned about trying to keep the exact same thickness on the cornrow all the way around the outside, then you're not going to get a round circle in the middle because the hairline is all uneven. As it's not, your head is not a perfect circle. Your hairline, it doesn't go in a perfect circle around your head. So you want to concentrate on making this part a circle and not be concentrated on making the part on the outside be a circle. So that's what I kind of wanted to explain about how to make a part where the braids on the outside are going to be in a circle. Now for this hairstyle, this eventually, the middle part is all going to be a puff, so I just braided it to get it out of my way. And what I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to, as you can see here, because I was worried about this being a circle, the amount of hair that we have here in the front is quite thick. I don't know, 2 through 2.5 inches maybe, but when you get here on the sides, it's not quite as wide here on the sides, if you can see that, because because of the shape of her head. And then like this would probably be the area where it's the least depth, I guess you can say. And so it's close to the same all the way around, but it's not perfect, and that doesn't matter. But anyways, what we're going to start doing now is we're going to start just putting in parts, and we'll part off sections, and I'm going to cornrow them straight back to where we've parted off the circle in the middle. I'm going to do that all the way around. I'm going to make cornrows going straight into the middle all the way around her head, and we'll come back and show you that in a minute. Okay, so as you can see, tilt your head back, honey, that we put rows all the way in up to the part where we had the circle already made. So we went all the way around the outside of the circle, doing cornrows straight in from our hairline into the circle. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cornrow all of these braids together to make one big braid going around where this circle part is. So I'm going to start here in the back because I think it's nicer to have it where you can't really see it. And I'm going to, actually I need to move this way. I like to use my legs sometimes to help steady her head, otherwise it bobs around too much. But I'm going to take 3 of these braids and I'm just going to start cornrowing them. Oops, I skipped one. Cornrowing them together. And I could have, okay, can you put your head up? I'm sorry, I have to start that again. I could have left the bottom of these, or like the ends of these braids loose. I didn't necessarily have to braid each cornrow all the way to the tips of her hair, but I thought that if I did that, this cornrow going around the outside would turn out better, because in the past I've done that, like when I did those faux French braids, if you've seen that video. When you leave them loose, then the braid that has all the loose ends doesn't it doesn't hold quite as nicely as it does when they've been braided all the way to the ends. And now I'm getting to where some of the braids that I started with from the back, the ends are starting to poke out. If you can look up here. These ends are starting to poke out from the braids in the back, so I might use some bobby pins just to tuck those in once I'm finished. I have to step in front of you. But I'm just gonna braid this all the way to the end. And I don't think I love how that turned out the first time, so I'll probably take it out and do it again. It's a little easier for me to do it when I'm not trying to do it in front of the camera, but you get the idea. I'm gonna cornrow them all together so that it makes one big braid, kind of like another halo braid, but this time just slightly different. And then once I have them all braided together, I'll bring them up to the top. And then I'm gonna take out this big main braid, and we're gonna let her have a big puff of free hair there with the one big braid going around it.